We're going to talk about something in this video you probably haven't heard before. It's the shape of the club head as it goes into the top. There's one way that's going to make you and one way that's going to break you. And today we're going to discuss that and show you how to achieve it in your swing, hit the ball longer and straighter.
So the distinct shape that we're talking about is as the club's moving into the top of the swing, and then as it comes down or starts down in the downswing, it kind of, from a down the line view, it kind of creates this very recognizable logo shape, and it's the Nike swoosh. And it's, you don't have to look far and wide to see these great players and just good golf swings, amateurs as well, create this shape in their golf swing.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. The first time we looked at this, Brian Manzella was talking about it, and they called it the sickle. Mm-hmm. And then as the more and more these apps came out that would kind of trace the club head,
yeah,
especially this Shot Tracer app, we started seeing it more and more and more with good players. And like, well, there is actually something to this, and we'll discuss it here in this video. But if you can make this swoosh in your swing, it's a real natural movement of the club. And if you get it right, it really elevates your ball striking.
Yep, and we're not sponsored, or this video isn't sponsored by Shot Tracer, but we both have it on our phones. We both use it. And we went to their Instagram page and just pulled off a couple swings for you to look at to kind of demonstrate what we're talking about. So since this is the Nike swoosh, we're going to look at the biggest cat in their lineup, Tiger, and you're going to see how he creates this swoosh in his swing. So a very on-plane, very just fundamentally sound, pure backswing. Like you wouldn't expect anything else.
And that's part of it, right? That's the first half.
That's the first half of it, right? And as the club goes up to its peak here and then starts to swing around towards the target, you create the first half of the swoosh, right? That's that top loop. Now here's where we'll see a lot of golfers already be off the rails, but this next half of the loop is where most golfers get off the rails. And what it should look like is this right here. You can see how that club kind of comes up, back, and down. And in Tiger's case, he just perfectly retraces that same plane line coming down.
It's a pretty good way to play golf.
That's why, yeah, pretty heck of a way to play golf. That's why he's one of the best ever. But you can see very clearly there that Nike swoosh shape. And if we go back and look at how he creates that, this has so much to do with the hand path. And we'll create here, let's use a different color. We'll use green. His hand path will follow a line very similar to this. And it's that downward hand path. We see so many golfers who are trying to be passive with the arms or leave the arms up and really fire their rotation out of the top. When you do that, the hand path starts to go more towards the ball or even out past the golf ball. These great players have their hand path starting much steeper down towards their feet more than the golf ball. This allows you and helps you actually shallow the club and get it on plane again very early. And you can see the rotation now really kicks in and starts to pull that club around on plane, and you get this classic looking golf swing that's performed quite well over the years.
I think the key to that, it doesn't take a whole lot of shallowing. You just want to kind of get the club lowered back onto that eventual impact plane that we're showing here.
Right.
Get it on there early, and then the rotation kicks in and takes it down the rest of the way.
And we're looking at two great examples. Another one coming up here in just a second, but from the camera angles have got to be good too, just like everything you look at in golf swing.
Yeah.
And it's why we chose these two guys. Now let's look at another player here, and another big cat in Nike's lineup. You can see again, very similar backswing.
Right? Gets it on plane early, pointed somewhere near the ball, reaches its peak.
And then the hand path again, we'll put another green line on that hand path coming down. Just very fundamentally sound, and for him, he might even do a better job at tracing that same line coming down as he did coming back.
And there's a pretty darn good swoosh there at the top.
Yeah, this could be just straight up embroidered on someone's shirt and you wouldn't know any difference. So looking at these two swings, and great examples of this, the way this club traces and performs that swoosh coming out of the top, it's a good indication not only the backswing was solid, but also the downswing, the change of direction, is very good. Now, if we look at another example, and again, we got Michael Phelps' swing here from the Shot Tracer Instagram page, and like this isn't picking on Mike because this isn't his sport. He's quite good at his sport.
Yeah.
And I would have no idea how to break down his swimming stroke. Is that what you call it?
I think so.
Swimming technique. But he's going to demonstrate what we see so many golfers doing with regards to creating this swoosh mark. Gets it going back. Actually does a really nice job in the backswing.
He really does, and a lot of times we don't even see that, right? But he gets the first part done pretty well.
And as the club kind of comes up and circles around, now he's going to make a very non-Olympian type movement as far as the golf swing goes. And we'll change colors here. We'll use white. His hand path now is going to trace a line way out there, pretty much at his shoulder line. As he starts down, you're going to see that hand path shoot way out. And now the club's coming out over and steep. And if you come back and look at his body movements, he's got his left arm really wrapped around his chest because he's quite flexible human being. And then all that rotation fires, that left arm stays up, which is what so many golfers are trying to do, right? And then everything just takes, the only place it can go is out and over from there.
Yeah, you see that pattern a lot.
Right.
It's like get up to the, even if they get up to the top in a good spot, if they don't have a good understanding of the sequence to start down, that club is usually coming way over the top.
And you get more of a golden arches shape than a Nike swoosh.
The McDonald's is not what you want to be doing here.
And then I put this in, I left this in the rest of the video for you because this is one of your pet peeves. Obviously not happy with this big slice.
He loves the follow through though. Okay.
And he does the classic.
Okay.
Second half of his follow through is the reload.
Yeah, so that's one of our pet peeves with, you hit a shot, at least take some time to kind of debrief, take a few practice swings, figure out where you hit it on the face. Maybe if you're working on something, a few little rehearsals, then maybe tee up another one. But when part of your follow through is grabbing another ball and didn't even really watch where it landed,
right?
You got to kind of take a step back and take a little more time and figure out what you're doing.
Exactly right.
And there it is.
You're seeing exactly why the idea of leaving this left arm tight to the chest and that it's going to like springboard the left arm off the chest and you're going to get this awesome looking swing because of it. The chest and shoulders are rotating up here where this white line is. That's not where you want the left arm springboarding off of. The left arm should be coming down, not out. And that's what happens when you get all of that tied to the body. And it's a classic move that we see every single day.
Yeah, and I'll make one more point about this. He happens to make a really good backswing part of the swoosh, but one of the other kind of swing killers we see is when the golfer goes up to the top, and instead of the swoosh coming back down around toward the hands, it goes laid off and kind of low. Mm-hmm. So if you finish the backswing and you're going into a laid off position and the club gets below your hands, every single person we see do that normally just slams the club over the top. So
almost creates an upside down swoosh.
It does, and that's something to look for if you are struggling. Get one of these apps and trace your swing. And it's an interesting thing to look at. A lot of times you don't really notice something until someone points it out to you. Now you're going to start looking for this, and you'll see it in a lot of great golf swings.
Absolutely. So let's jump over to the warehouse, show you guys some drills on how to start to put this proper movement into your golf swing so you can hit the ball farther and straighter. All right, so the best way to learn how to put a swoosh in your swing is to train it dynamically. This isn't something you're going to have much fun or much success doing positionally because it's a movement, right? It creates the movement. So we come up with this little motion drill, and it's kind of a compound drill. We'll show you the basic first and then show you how to compound it so you can complete the swoosh and start down dynamically.
Yeah, so the first part of it here is just getting used to this left arm swing. Mm-hmm. So you start the club forward here in your left hand or your lead hand, put your trail hand on your leg, swing it back and just do it halfway back first and catch it. The feeling you want to have here is at this point, you want the club head kind of back behind you a little, but the line of it pointed somewhere down at the ball line, at the target line. The bad way to do it or the wrong way would be too much this way or to roll it. So step one, get the club head back this way on plane, right? And you just kind of catch it with your hand.
Right,
That's
I would say probably the biggest ruiner of this move happening in your golf swing would be the takeaway that gets hands in, club out too much. And you're not going to do that. We've yet to see anyone swing the club back and do that, right? So it's a very unnatural movement. So
exactly.
Get it moving first.
So that's step one of the swoosh. You got to get the back part of it. Mm-hmm. Now, how do we add that little motion to the top where it starts working back that way a little bit? Mm-hmm. That gives us the right feeling. So hand here, I'm going to swing it back. I'm going to catch it, and I'm going to finish the swing by letting this right arm be out just a little bit.
So let me walk around you here. So do that again.
So hand here, I'm going to swing it back. It's going to reach its deepest point right in here. I'm going to catch it, I'm gonna finish it with some recentering with my body, but let the right arm be out a little.
So you want to put the other hand on there.
Yep.
So you want to let this right arm, this forearm, bend over in more of your posture.
Yep.
Don't be afraid to let this forearm match your back line.
Yeah.
Okay? You don't have to keep this pointed down on the ground, and that's what will ruin this swoosh, because the club will jackknife on you.
I think that's trying to keep the elbows pinched is a good way to ruin that club motion going into the top. We love to see guys prop the club up just a little bit. Now, if it's short or parallel, it can still be on the laid off side,
right.
But those last few ticks, you want them that way a little bit, and having that elbow out and getting the club between your arms is a great spot to start down from.
Now, there's Jack Nicklaus, right, or whoever with a big flying right arm, and then there's this guy. There's a lot of good positioning in between those two.
Yeah.
So if you're used to doing this, you don't have to do this. You just have to let it kind of, and really it's a natural feeling movement if you do the catch correctly. If I do this, I'm not gonna come and try to catch it this way. If I swing it and I just put my arm there, it's already kind of at an angle.
You want to make these movements be natural. You don't want to have to lock anything in. And like some of these drills where you pinch your elbows together,
Yeah.
It's so unnatural that your body wants to almost rebound the other way. And we're trying to avoid that.
It certainly will if you get it up here, catch it, and this club weight falls behind you. We see this every day in lessons where the reaction is that.
That death move at the top is club head below the hands, laid off, and that first move is always that way.
Yep.
This kind of really eliminates that.
Yep. So give this a try. Again, start first, just the left arm only swings, about half to 3/4 swings, just getting the coordination of catching it in the left hand.
And getting it on kind of plane right here.
Yep. And film yourself doing this. Film it from face on and down the line, because you're going to see that I don't have a locked out arm when I catch it. I just have a very naturally folded right arm, and you can just kind of toss it up here and go to the top, and you're not going to do anything weird if you make it motion driven. If you make it positionally driven, you're going to struggle with this more than you should, but once you get the hang of it, you're going to see your ball flight improve dramatically.
Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did enjoy it, go ahead and give it a like. Also, if you have any questions about today's video, or you have an idea of a video that you want us to shoot, go ahead and leave it in the comments below. We read every single comment. We also respond to the comments. So again, leave us a comment if you have any questions or there's anything you'd like to see. Now, if you haven't already, click the subscribe button. We have videos coming out every single week, and we don't want you to miss one. So by clicking subscribe, that ensures you're notified right away when a new video comes out. And hey, if you want to add instant distance to your drive, and we all do, everybody wants more distance, go ahead and click the link in the pinned comment below. You're going to see a link. Click on it. It's going to take you to a page. You're going to enter your name and email address. We're going to send you an email where you're going to get access to instant distance, which is a video training that we put out. We know it's going to help you. We know we're going to see you farther down the fairway.